Hello customers of Better Music, my name is Tom and this is Doops. We're taking a look at a pedal board build today. A customer sent through a picture of a shamble that he's got in his room, a couple of pedals collecting dust and this little diagram. So we're going to turn this diagram and all these pedals into a beautiful new custom board, and Doops is going to show us how to do that. So Doops, with a board like this, what's the first step in setting it up?
So definitely layout, just because it is going to be a tight board.
Yeah.
Boss BCB 1000, this size is fantastic, but keeping in mind it needs to be functional too. So everything needs to be hit and everything needs to have access to the knobs. It needs to be ergonomic. With this kind of thing, generally like gain post wah, it's going to create a little bit of a more subtle wah effect. However, that's the awesome thing again about the GT1000 core. He can have an auto wah or a wah with an expression off to the side, and he can be doing it post gain as well. So the thing is, he's got both options. A lot of people do prefer a stock wah because the treadle is different to an expression. It's really can be sometimes hard to dial it in, and there's a certain weight to it which a lot of people prefer. I know I do.
Play a feel.
Yeah, totally. You can get away using just this. These are things that a lot of, it's more player preference, and it's going to make it feel better and give flavor. It's a little bit of individuality.
So what kind of sounds are we looking to achieve with this board setup? I notice we've got a Slash signature here and a Eddie Van Halen signature there.
Yeah. So signature products are a really good way to kind of tell what they're kind of after. I know through conversations, which are a huge part of the sort of a custom board build, getting these sheets are great. They kind of tell me a little bit, but those conversations are kind of invaluable to really figure out the direction.
Yeah.
Figuring out the functionality is a really big thing. I want to figure out where they're using it. If it's a home board, man, I'm happy to make it as big and as heavy as possible, which is awesome. Like, I mean, you can flesh out a studio rig and it can be 20 kilos. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But if they're taking it to gigs or, you know, they've got lots of application. Yeah, totally. So you want to figure out, how big are we doing this? What board's going to suit? Powering it? Are they going to go overseas? The thing is, you have to have certain power supplies which adapt to that. So it's all these factors.
Yeah. All right, so we've taken a look at the pedals that we're going to use, but what actual board are we going to be using for the build?
Yeah, so again, pulling back to that dialogue with the client, it's talking about whether they're leaving the house, whether they're traveling, whether they need a reinforced case, are they chopping and changing a heap? I want to know all these things, and do they plan to make it bigger in the future? Because I want to future-proof it as well, give them options. So this is actually the pedal board that we'll be using. This is the Boss BCB 1000, and it is new and very, very cool for a couple of different reasons.
Nice carbon finish on the top. Set of
wheels. Some wheels.
Yeah.
It's not heavy at all. So the thing is, when we load all this up, we want something that's light, but we also want something that's durable and strong. Something that Boss is known for. It has these lovely latches, lift-off case. Now, this is awesome because there's no flex. When we've got a wah, we don't want something that is going to be flexing.
You're going to be putting your full body weight onto it. It's
100%.
Yeah.
So with this, we've also got some really nice routing options with the slats. We've got the junction box that's built in. Again, these are things that if I don't have them, I have to add them. So it's really nice that this board has it. We have some rubber feet underneath for slipping on whatever floor it is, which is also another thing that I do look for with this and with making recommendations.
to be doing about power for this board?
Yeah, so again, that dialogue revealed that the client does a lot of recording, so we want to isolate. Now you can daisy chain, that does interact with a lot of pedals negatively.
Yep.
And it always isn't reliable, like when different rooms have different power.
Yes.
So you want to have something that has filters, that has isolation. So getting something that has enough outputs on the power supply itself and that it's actually isolated. So the Power Grid by Friedman, really good power supply. It's
How many
all
outlets have we
isolated.
got?
It's 10,
Yeah.
and it's 350 mA. So those big high draw pedals, you're good. The other factor with powering is, again, that noise, the proximity, that can be a thing. Again, it's all play it by ear. The cables that we're going to be using today, we're going to use a mixture, just because we've got a few different applications for them, and we want to keep it nice and neat. So there's a couple of custom cables that we're going to have to make.
I take it that's what the Boss solderless kit is for?
Yeah, 100%. So
Excellent.
especially for that junction box in the top right corner, we're going to be running some custom lengths this way, and that way we can keep it really nice and neat and really easy to change down the track. For things down here in front of the amp, I wanted to be using some soldered cables because honestly, this section of the board might get changed down the track. It might be getting pulled up, and I want it to be nice and durable. And these things are nice and hardy, but the new pancake cables that they make are super low profile, which is really good still because it means that we can keep it nice and squashed.
Save a lot of space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the final cable that we're going to be using
Yep.
is going to be the one connecting the Morningstar to the GT1000 core. Unfortunately, this is the only length that they make. However, it is a really good quality MIDI cable.
Yep.
And does have the 3.5 jack that bad boy needs. The other cable that we will be putting for more off-board use for those amps that I was talking about, those high gain amps which are MIDI capable, are going to be these MIDI cables too. Now these Boss MIDI cables, they come in 2 different lengths and they are multi-directional. So
Oh, like a little right angle.
yeah, so we can make it right angled and fit it to how we need it.
Yeah, sick.
So the Morningstar can then be doing amp commands really easily.
So this is the final product. It's looking pretty good. My man Doops has done a great job. It's looking great.
If you have any pedals lying around and any ideas to get your dream board happening, just hit us up and we can really make that happen for you.